My word, that's a response. A flashing cut.
A very good morning from the recreation ground in Oudtshoorn, where the World Sports Betting Cape Cobras take on the Warriors in the Momentum One Day Cup. These are the teams that take the field today for the Cobras. Debuts for Thando Ntini, who hails from Oudtshoorn, and also down the bottom, Thando Ntini. We heard a very happy Makhaya earlier, and on the right-hand side, Dylan Matthews. There's an interesting name, a leg spinner, formerly from Northwest. Plied his trade in Easterns, and Robbie P was all over him in a flash to sign him. So an interesting battle awaits. Toss was won by the Cape Cobras. They had very little hesitation in batting first. Pieter Malan of Proteas fame debuted in the series against England, in a fairly successful debut, one must say. Very close to saving the test match at Newlands against the English. Good average. He'd be steady for the Cobras at the top. And there's the debutant, Thando Ntini. He'll be a bit of a dasher, right-hand bat. He'll keep wicket for the Cobras later. Birch, he gets us underway.
And I was speaking to the groundsman earlier, and you actually fool. And when I did the pitch report, is when you look at the surface, you actually just think as a seamer. Initial thought is it looks green and it will do something.
That's got to be close. That's got to be very close. That's better than close. That's gone. Arno Jacobs had very little hesitation in sending Thando Ntini on his way. Glenton Steerman, the local lad, he strikes almost immediately for the Warriors, and not a happy debut for Thando Ntini. The Cobras, they lose their first, 4 for 1.
It must be the plan, because we saw it from Andrew Birch in the previous over. They're just trying to nip the ball back to these two opening batsmen. This time, apart from being clipped for 3 by Pieter Malan, he gets the length much better, right on target. Thando Ntini has gone without scoring. Cobras now 4 for 1.
Zubair Hamza makes his way to the wicket. And I think this is really going to be the two that the Cobras are going to pin their hopes on, and getting them to a solid start, getting a really good base. Short ball pulled away, that square fine legs not getting there. That'll go for 4. The first boundary of the morning ends the 4th over, 14 for 1.
He'll be walking back to his mark, or walking back to fine leg, and he'll be asking himself, I've just beaten him outside the off stump twice already in this over. What am I doing? He's trying to bowl a dot ball to finish the over, but it's a slow surface.
And that's a good drive. Won't be happy with the fielding at mid-off. There's a little bit of a teaser for Yasin Vali. He hauls in most. He's not hauling this one in. Boundary number 2. Rudi Second, he won't be happy with his work at mid-off. Normally has the insurance of the gloves. On this occasion, that's the one that preceded the wide, and this one's over pitched, and Tower bridges it.
Oh, that's short enough, and that's pulled away handsomely by Zubair Hamza. Well, he got the measure of that one and played it exquisitely.
Yeah, I've spoken about it the first few overs, and where they were really effective as the Warriors bowlers, in the sense that they bowled a really good length and challenging lines. When they have gone short, it's just sat up. And you spoke about playing the short ball at international level. You're going to get tested.
Oh my goodness, yes, trouble! Gone! Wow, what were they thinking here? My goodness. Wow, what a waste of a wicket. A run out of his. Total confusion.
gets a feeling over here that the batters almost felt it was out and just waiting for the decision, and as a result there was no communication in the running at all. Let's have a look at this first. I think we leave that to the viewers to decide, but then let's have a look at the running over here. Just waiting, no calling whatsoever, and Hamza just found in no man's land.
He should have stood his ground, Zabir Hamza. He should have been even more aware than Pieter Malan what was going on. I'd like to see this. We'll probably get a slow-mo replay again. He was waiting. Pieter Malan. But he's still got to be aware in the game. Hamza, if I was him, I'd have stood my ground. Simon Kumari, St Andrew's protege in Bloemfontein. Your rival school.
Yeah, rival it is. I've produced some very good cricketers of late.
Oh, that's beautifully played. That should go all the way. Magnificent shot.
Sometimes you can look at a guy like Pieter Malan being sort of very compact and tight in his technique, but this is where, from a one-day cricket point of view, you want to see him just extend the arms and have a bit of a free flow in his movements.
Edged, and will go for 4. Well, it was good. 2 very, very good deliveries, and Kumari lucky to get away with that.
Yeah, just the angle across the left and a bit of extra pace, and purposefully had that guy at a sort of a slightly narrow gully, just eluded Nyako there, and the pace is just too fine to beat Birch on third man.
Pulled away. Chance way over his head for a maximum.
That was a good hit, Vic. Voila. That's a good shot, that one. Stand and deliver.
I just need to be a little bit careful here, the Warriors. They've bowled so well with that new ball. They pitched the ball up. It was so difficult, and every time they've bowled short, Malan has put it away. It just looks so comfortable, doesn't it? It's a slow surface, and when you don't have the pace like Nyaku has, it's no pace whatsoever. The surface is a slow one, so it gives him enough time to put this away. He'll be looking, he'll be searching. Pieter Malan. Pulled away. It's a very good shot, that, because he's hit it in front of square, just over Magala's head, and it's a boundary for Pieter Malan.
He looks very good and control. Pieter Malan, anything that is somewhere around that short of the length, he goes for it. And then yes, another 4 for him.
Good shot. That is a quality shot. That they have not made him settle whatsoever. And again, Pieter Malan plays a wonderful shot, and he goes to 50.
Full toss and hammered away. This will go all the way for 6.
Yeah, the first real loose one by Matthew in his spell this far. And, easy pickings for Pieter Malan. He's managed to bowl in pretty decent pace up to now, and good control.
Bowl him, did him in the air, and Simon Kumari looking to go aerial. has his stumps rattled and he's sent on his way. The Cobras, they lose their third, and it'll do a lot for the confidence of this young man, Dylan Matthews. Faith that Robin Peterson has restored in him has been paid dividends.
Speak about character. He's just shown that he has been dispatched of the boundary for 6. But a great way to come back. Just sort of sense that, as you said, Amaru was getting a bit unsettled and he felt he needed to do something. He departs for 12, 102 for 3 after 22 overs.
The new man in, Jason Smith, walks in for the Cobras, and a man with talent to burn. Those numbers might not reflect it, but I think you might have seen him a bit on the circuit as well, Ryan, and agree that he has got ability. Pulled away strongly. Beats the man at fine leg, and Birch errs on length. He probably rub his hand in the dirt and kick the foot marks. No, he doesn't. He just walks back to his mark and realizes that he's got this length horribly wrong. Sits up, begs to be hit. And Pieter Malan is in the form of his life. Very little difficulty in putting that away for 4.
Short cut away, and that will be 4. Well, that one just sat up, gave him a bit of width, and he did the necessary. That'll be 4. Short, pulled away.
And that without even trying. He's got 10 runs on that over. So surely, if they are very clever, they could just saying that let's get 1 or 2. He's gonna bowl 1 bed ball. We put it away.
That's better. Much better. Good comeback. 32 overs gone now. 156 for 3. Partnership has been quite good between these two at the moment. 54 it is between of only 62 balls, but Milan and Hamza started things going, and then that silly run out, and then Milan and Kumari, until Kumari got a rush of blood and walked past one of Matthews. Milan been involved in all that. He's been the mainstay. He's batted beautifully. Makhaya, Linde, Kleinveld, those are the big hitters to come, because they can give it a good whack. Groundsman now getting closer as the rain, and it seems like players are leaving the field. The umpires just lodge the bail, and the groundsman will get those covers on as soon as possible. I don't think we'll be off for a long time. We have to get those covers on quickly.
Yeah, because I look at the clouds, a little bit high.
It's raining harder now. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
What a good shot that was. My goodness me, Jason Smith, that was well swept in front of square. Well, the game has been reduced with a, because just remember, overs get deducted immediately. It's not that you wait an hour anymore like in the old days. It's deducted immediately. That one's driven, and then won't be a run. So 1 over's been deducted, so we'll have 49 overs to play. Power trails will go overs 1 to 10, and then 29 overs in the last 10. It's too straight. And then you earn that length. Oh, it's had the beating of both fielders. Well, he bisected that shot quite nicely. And Milan now moves into the 90s.
Nerves of 90s. If you are to be Milan that is already on that now on a 34th over. Wow, he could make a big 100 here.
Flighted, driven. He's got a lot of running to do, and it's the boundary has the beating. And 100 up for Milan. What an innings it's been. Albeit the run out of Hamza. And Hamza's the first one on his feet. That's what team spirit is all about. Team effort's all about. It's been a good 100 and well deserved.
That's the reason his name, he comes up front when it comes to the international test player. When anyone gets injured, his name pops out. 100. Well done, Malan.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful shot that is by Pieter Malan.
Some elegance, as we've seen all along this innings by Pieter Malan. Interesting, Rudi Second has opted to keep the fielders up in the ring for the majority. In the second power play, he might be forced to have some defense on the boundary from now.
This is airborne, this is a chance. Oh yes, he takes it. It's been an area that Pieter Malan has targeted, especially when Nyako has been bowling, trying to get the boundary option. This time, he gets a leading edge and he doesn't get enough of it. Wonderful fielder is Matthew Breetzke, and he takes a comfortable catch.
Well, we were just about to say, with the presence of Pieter Malan, that the Cobras would have been looking way beyond that 250 mark. But what a timely dismissal this is for the Warriors. A brilliant innings by Pieter Malan comes in 106. And the Cobras 186 for 4.
Gihahn is the new batsman. Normally very good in the middle period, where he sort of tries and rotates the strike, runs well between the wickets, something that they'll need. Something they'll need to start again with the last couple of the next power play to come in to try and maximize and trying to get to a decent enough total.
Hit hard and hit for 4. Strong base from Gihahn. He beats mid on to his right, and Abdullah Steenkamp signals what could be the start of a flurry of boundaries. Another good hit down the ground, and Smith on this occasion beats Magala to his left this time, and Steenkamp will horizontally signal a 4. That brings up a half century for Jason Smith as well, and it's been a good innings. Cut away beautifully this time by Smith, and boundaries are starting to flow. The third of the over. Bowled him, the googly does it, looks for the cut, but he's done him as Dylan Matthews picks up his second. And Gihahn, he's got to make the long walk back. It's a really good delivery, doesn't leave the stumps, and he doesn't pick the googly, does Gihahn. Sends him packing. He goes for 11, the Cobras 221 for 5.
George Linde coming in at number 7 for the Cobras. He can hit the long ball as well.
He does. He hits a very long ball, and it'd be handy with the left-hander. Slower ball, cut away, and Gihahn Cloete will just turn around and fetch it from the boundary. Played this really well, did Jason Smith. He waited and he waited. And George Linde smacks it beautifully. Hits the side screen, as good a shot as you'll see. Raises the arms, does Arne Jacobs, indicates 6. A great over for the Cobras. 46 gone, 243 for 5.
Wow, look at that. It was there. Linde waited. Wow, over. It's over. Don't need to run for those.
And that's the benefit, the added benefit of having a left and right hand combination. In the air, should be taken. Cloete takes it comfortably. He said it's a great time to take wickets as well, and Makhaya knows that they need to get through the overs, so he's not going to have a big huddle. The Cobras, they lose their 6th.
And that is important as well, you know, being able to finish the overs on the right time. Because we've seen it in actual fact in the first game. That's Makhaya trying to get into that Yorker position. And then Smith hitting that one right up, and then Cloete not making any mistake. Well done, Jason Smith, 76.
The big show, he needs very little introduction. Rory Kleinveld widely announced that it will be his final competition. Squeezes it, he might get more than one. Breetzke's got work to do. In fact, he'll get 3 more than one. Squeezes it for 4. Good end to the over. 47 gone. Brings up the 250 as well. 251 for 6. Does very little wrong, does Thando Makhaya, but such is the power of George Linde, and he times it really well. Breetzke, he had all the work to do. Couldn't get there though. Linde hits it sweetly, and Breetzke watches it sail over his head for 6. Another sweet strike from George Linde.
He can hit the long ball. I hope he played the golf though, hasn't it? Does he?
There's a little bit of golf.
Those shots, almost like I said, it's a good swing. He's going, he's gone.
Doesn't look to overhit it. It's all about timing and having a strong base and keeping his shape. Hits it long. Is it long enough? Volley, long enough. Great start. He hung back in the length delivery, and all the power he possesses, George Linde. The timing you mentioned earlier, Makhaya, and that eased over long on for 6.
You're almost saying that don't squeeze the bat. Hold it light in your hands. You know, your swing becomes with ease.
Under pressure. First up is Makhaya. Good hit. Again, the man coming in off the boundary does well, but they'll come back for the 2nd. No hoo-has from Makhaya. 274 for 6 is where the World Sports Betting Cobras end in their allotted 49 overs due to a short rain break. They'll be happy with that. But Robbie Peterson, well, he's going to have his work cut out. They've got an aggressive batting lineup, but one would think at half-time, Makhaya, Cobras are favourites.
Without a doubt, if you look at their current rate as well, they actually exactly say that at 274 if they go 6 runs and over. But from the bowling team point of view, they can be in doubt of that. And then Cobras, they need to bowl very, very well to be able to win the game today.
They won the toss, the Cape Cobras, and Dane Pitt had very little hesitation in saying they'd bat first. Pieter Malan lost his opening part to Gihahn Cloete as early as the 2nd over. A needless run out from Hamza, but then the partnership between Pieter Malan and Jason Smith was a really good one, and then the hand that George Linde played with both Smith and Kleinveld got them to the 274 for 6.
You look at the Warriors bowling card, Betcha right at the top, going for 5.2 runs and over. Stearman as well, being able to just bowl technically, bowl very well, to be honest, going 3 runs and over. Makhaya, as usual, you can see that they actually stake on their 5 bowlers, you know, and I think the captain, Rudi Second, did very well to make sure of that.
Welcome back after lunch. Well, covers are on. It was just a little bit of a cloud break. Just a little bit of juice to keep us interested. And all is ready for the Cobras to start their campaign. 274 for 6, what the Cobras got, and there have been some healthy contributions from Milan, who got a fantastic 100, and then also Jason Smith, who weighed in with some runs.
And also the fact that even though there was some drops on the pitch, the sun's come out, it's so hot here, and Matthew Breetzke got his first 100, first Momentum One Day Cup 100. Still a youngster playing in his second season now.
Oh, this is a man also with heaps of talent, but at times I hope he's working harder at his cricket, because he can be a tad lazy. Average of 36, 700s, that just shows the talent that he's got. 750s, 300s. And he really needs to just get everything right, because I think he's got everything going for him, the Gihahn Cloete, if he really puts his mind to it. Well, the big show, there he is, into the attack. Line and length, impeccable, Rory Kleinveld. You get from him, comes from a cricketing family. His uncle was Johnny Kleinveld, played in the Sakbi Western Province as well. And what a cricketer he was. I had the honor of playing with his dad. I'll tell you what, his dad got 100, I was at 10 on out. That should go for 4 as Ntini, desperate dive on the fence, will not get there. And what a way to end the over, 6 without loss.
It's a lovely shot. It's just the little bit of room that he gets, and it's not that short, you know. I mean, he just pushes back and he's looking for that square drive, punches it, and Ntini, well, even though he throws a dive in, the ball just races away for 4.
Oh, it's a thick outside edge. Will go for 4. Well, Patterson shouldn't feel aggrieved with that. Just gone wide of first slip. Had there been a second slip in place, he could have been in business.
Yeah, we already saw a drop catch in the previous over from the bowling of Patterson this time, and because he's so strong square of the wicket, they feel that they need to have the extra protection in the covers. It's a slow surface, and they feel that maybe the ball will go to short cover.
Gone for 4. He loves to free those arms, as you say. If it's there in the slot, he's going to hit it.
That was slightly over pitched by Rory Kleinveld. A lovely shot. It's just right in his arc, isn't it? I mean, he allows his hands to come through. Naturally, the first thing that he does is he plants that front foot down the ground, and because the ball doesn't move at all, he finds it in a half volley, but it's a quality shot.
Have to hurry here, and he'll get a quick single. Let's pick that one up through mid-wicket, and that will go for 4.
That's a wonderful shot by Breetzke. Doesn't try and overhit this at all. I think the option is there. What he's trying to do is he just needs to try and get close enough to the ball. He's aware what Rory Kleinveld is trying to do. He's trying to nip the ball back at him.
Well, when he bowls the short ball, as you've just spoken about, it just sets up to be hit, and he dispatches that with absolutely majesticness.
Ends the over, 30 without loss. It's just a slower ball and a slow ball bouncer. He's got so much time to rock back and put that away. And unfortunately, he doesn't have the protection like he has for the right-hander, and it's just a free hit.
Oh, it's a bit full, and it's get driven away for 4 on the offside.
A lovely drive, really is, and he'll put him under pressure.
Proud moment for the Ntini family. In unison we say that. There we go. And he's got his first wicket. What a proud moment it is for the young man. So that's fantastic. Well, what a big moment this is for the Ntini family. Now the father was ecstatic here behind me, and so is the son.
He's gone for 23, Matthew Breetzke, 37 for 1.
Senator Quashing, next man in. Speaking to Robin Peterson yesterday, he said to me he's going to give this young man opportunity at number 3. And let's see if he can step up to the play. I like that average of 40, 11 matches, 292, 250s, 100. Best of 121. That's good.
Slapped and great catch! Rory Kleinfeld! Thando celebrates, Makhaya celebrates, the Cobras celebrate!
Oh, the big show is flying. It's a clean pair of hands by the big man, and present Thando Ntini with his second wicket. Oh, I tell you, Gihahn Cloete was fancying it. It was just slightly fuller, and he thought he made good contact. But look at the big show go.
When he got there, he was never dropping it. Angled in, fancied it, did Gihahn Cloete. It went to hand. Yoo-haw goes Makhaya. Lost their second. Cloete is gone for 16, 42 for 2. Brings to the wicket the captain, Rudi Second. And he'll be a lot more circumspect in his approach. Right-handed batter. Over the years, I never quite felt that he knew, or whoever he was involved with knew what his best spot was in one-day cricket. Those are his numbers, averaging 44. That's like really good numbers, that. And maybe it's just a preference. Maybe the wind has got something to do with it. Beaten everyone. Umpire signals buys. Kotze's -4 for the day. End of the 12th. 56 for 2. That's overpitched, and he's belted this down the ground. Just erring on the full side is Thando Ntini. He just wants to hit that fuller length really hard. Hit the length rather than float it up there.
You sensed Koshile was sweating on this a couple of overs ago, that he was trying to lace everything in a similar length, and he just couldn't make the contact. This time around, however, he's in a great position. Not enough time for Pieter to get around it mid-off.
Great shot. Down the wicket. Mid-on's up. Belts it straight back over the head. Koshile shows the intent. 14 gone. 69 for 2 of the Warriors. They need 275 for victory. They're going about it in a nice way. Koshile, he's on 14, striking at 70. Captain Rudi Second has been in for 15 deliveries. He's on 9. And he'll feel really good about that with Sinatemba Koshile.
Good use of the feet. Pressure. And Sequela succumbs. 79 for 3. Trouble looming.
And we were just singing all the praise that he's batting with someone that has an experience with the ball. Just after that, I think from Linde as well. He has so much of an experience, know exactly what he wants to do. He's making sure that the batsman comes to his end. Look at that. Kashile Snetemba gone for 20, 79 for 3. Because you're bringing a new batter in, and then he has to start afresh to get himself in, and then when you look at that, the overs are gone, over 25, then the pressure starting building up. Scoreboard pressure is something else as well that always create that pressure, you know, especially when you are chasing the score that is not as much as you should have.
That's nicely played. Rudi Second, all the experience he has.
He was one of those batsmen they actually, during the Mzansi League, was busy.
Just eluding the slip. It will go all the way. It's not going to be reined in. It will go for 4. It's 100 up on the board as well. So in the 20th over we are now. Run rate required is 6. They well in advance because they are batting at 5.65, which is right up there. So no worries at the moment for the Warriors. Reverse sweep. It's not going to be stopped. That will go for 4. It will run away. And Vali getting into the act there now. It's 111. Nelson for 3. Umpire David Shepherd would have had his feet off the ground now.
There's a lot of good shots there that they've been played by the Warriors. They don't let any of the bowlers to relax.
Fingers come up. It's the end of Vali. He's gone. Trapped LBW. And the 4th wicket to fall.
And that's on Nelson. 111 and 4.
I think Pete will be happy with that result. And the Cobras will be happy with that as well. Oh, that was plumb. Now, just as it looks as if the Warriors will take the ascendancy batting, they're losing wickets. And on that note, with Vali gone for 14, 111 for 4.
An entrance to Marco Marais. You see his statistics. He hasn't had many games in this format. So a lot has been spoken about his striking ability. So look at the Worms at the moment. Pretty even set, but a few, maybe too many dismissals for the Warriors at this half or this stage of the game. As you say, Vic, run rate is not a problem.
Swept away, and that's a very good shot to get a boundary.
We've just spoken about the amount of turn that Dane Pitt has been getting and the challenges that have facing from outside the off spin or outside the off stump, and Rudi Second has got into brilliant position and utilised the sweep very well, the lap sweep and now the, I wouldn't say power sweep, but good sweep behind square.
Well, it goes the other way this time, and it's another boundary. Or will it be? Yeah, it will. Patterson at the end thought that he might just get hold of that ball, but the ball wins the race. So back-to-back boundaries for Rudi Second.
Ideal position to get into that sort of reverse lap, nice and low. And as most wicketkeepers do, they play that reverse sweep and the sweep quite adequately.
Sweeps in front of square, and a wonderful shot. Very good, powerful sweep by Marco Mare.
It's a great position that Marco Murray got into, power sweep in front of square. I know he's very strong and adept at hitting the ball down the ground. But this is what these conditions ask you to do, is probably utilize a sweep and reverse sweep.
Oh, lovely shot. Oh, that's a beauty. Rudi Second got in a good position and he just had to place the ball.
Great touch here by Rudi Second. Just seemed to advance in down the wicket just a tad. It's offered him the length and just leant on it. Great timing. And then Pieter just give up the chase once it's gone past the inner ring.
Yeah, that's a wonderful innings that by Rudi Second, and that single brings his 50. Comes at a good time. He's got a good strike rate. Only 4 boundaries from that innings. It shows that he's been very busy. It is 12 momentum one-day cup 50.
68 minutes.
Oh, he's got him. They've been looking for that, looking for the boundary, and it's the dangerous Murray that gets bowled by Rory Kleinveld.
This is exactly what Dane Pitt would have been asking Rory Kleinveld to come back, bowl your second spell, and make inroads to a very important partnership. Probably not the shot that you want to play on this type of wicket. Rory Kleinveld has been direct and at the stumps for most of this spell, changing his pace. Just that lack of pace has resulted in a bottom edge onto the stumps. Massive dismissal this for the Cobras as Marco Mare departs for 10. The Warriors now 147 for 5.
Onke Nyako is the new batsman. And he's all of a sudden he's using his crease. Spoke about the wicket to wicket that he bowls. That is one-day momentum, one-day cup career. Average of 12, best of 34. It's only batted 5 times for the Warriors and normally goes, what, 7, 8? That's where he normally bats.
Nothing to choose. Still in the same garden, the two worms. And as mentioned, the Warriors are slightly ahead of where the Cobras were. 2 wickets lost, but they had one Pieter Malan, and he found himself a more than willing and able ally in Jason Smith to just navigate them to a stage in the game where George Linde could wield his willow. He's got him. He's got the big man. He's got the big wicket. Rudi Second goes. Ntini, everything he touches turns to gold. Another fine catch at mid-wicket. And Rudi Second, we mentioned that Second was the key man, and he's now gone. And with Second going, you feel the hopes of the Warriors go with him as well. There it is, Makhaya.
Wow. Thando, he's really putting his name there. Look at him.
Second, he's gone for 66. Warriors 174 for 6.
Sisanda Magala, he's the man in. And he can give it a good whack when it needs to. But one just feels 6 wickets down now. Warriors maybe best of 48 in his 52 matches. It's airborne. One's going to have the beating. Just releasing the pressure.
Yeah, you just sense that this couldn't carry on any much longer. Too many dot balls. And Yaku's sort of felt that anything up, he's going to try and have a go at the top, and struck it cleanly enough.
That's it, straight down the ground. That will go for 4 this time. Productive over for the Warriors. 199 for 6.
Just what the Warriors needed. Felt that Pitt was probably the man to go for these 2 right-handers. As I said, they needed to do something to stay and to get up to the required run rate. Produced 12 runs off the over.
One bounce, two bounces over the fence. Way to start the over. Pressure immediately on the bowler.
This is where Thando Ntini's skill and variation is going to be tested. He's been able to run up and bowl length and the same pace for the majority of his bowling today in the first and second spell. Sense that Nyaku now is going to have to make a play here. And let's see how Ntini is going to react and if there's going to be a change of field.
Malan takes his fourth. And could he be in contention for man on the match on debut? Well, one fancies now that this could be it for the Warriors, because these pair were looking ominous at one stage. 211 for 7.
Yeah, he's persisted with this length today. He's been challenged one or two balls in the beginning of this over, and this length has brought him his success most of the day thus far. Nyaku tried to change the field. Just needed some contact in the ball to go over fine leg. Nyaku departs for 30.
The best figures on franchise momentum debut was 5 for 67 by Mashanta Lange in 2011. And 4 for 24 by Roelof van der Merwe. That's in 2008. I'm not sure Ntini was born then. But he's had a sensational debut. 4 wickets for 34 runs. Linde into his final over. There it goes, there he goes, stumped. Had a big swing, did him in the air, and then the spin finished it off, and Gihahn Cloete managed to hold on to it, whipped the bails off in a flash, send Makhaya packing, and the Warriors, they lose their 8th wicket.
It's been very clear, isn't it, when Linde was bowling from the other side, that Makhaya tried to clear long on a lot of times, and it was very clear what he was trying to do. Just get it outside the off stump, get it to turn away, because he's just looking the other way. He's gone for 18, Sisanda Makhaya. The Warriors now 211 for 8. Steenkamp, Clinton Steerman, not Steenkamp. Walking to the crease, his partner on the other side. We saw his best is 55 not out. He's got a list A career of a best of 52. So still a chance, Shooks.
That's in the air, and that will go all the way. And again, the crowd, they're nearly on their feet here in applauding the boundary off the bat of Clinton Steerman.
Yeah, you could hear the shouts from the fielders that it was airborne, but it was powerfully struck by Steerman. Off the mark with a boundary.
And first delivery straight down the throat. That goes to Smith. It doesn't go to Ntini, unfortunately. Simple enough catch for Dane Patterson. And the final rights are being read here because the Warriors, they're 9 down.
Yeah, they need to clear boundaries, don't they? Birch trying to clear the boundary. He's bowling his first over. Hey, Smith, and straight to the man on the boundary. Patterson, who makes no mistake, takes a comfortable catch. Just bowls it in the area, and he just checks his shot and tries to clear the boundary, but not getting enough to beat that man. So Andrew Birch, he's gone for 2, 219 for 9.
Dylan Matthews walks the wicket as the final Warriors batter. 220 is what the Warriors need to prevent the Cobras from getting a bonus point. Oh, he slogs that, and they had everybody in to stop the single. The Cobras, they are aware of what's going on, and Steerman, he gets another boundary. In the air and to fall safe. Better still to go for 4.
It's a good strike once again. It's a slower ball and is headed well in front of square. Matthews. 35 runs, 17 balls.
I just looked at this now. We've been wafting away at all sorts of things, and I look up and I see 35 of 70. Surely not. Patterson, this should be the end of it. Smith, he's under it. He takes it comfortably. No need for duck with Lewis. Win for the Cobras, and they up and running.
He'll be a very happy coach. Actual Prince. Jason Smith taking a comfortable catch at the end as the Cape Cobras win by 31 runs. He's right there trying to clear the boundary. There's Matthews, and they needed 17 runs to the over, and boundaries is what they needed to try and get close to their total. But it's a comfortable catch by Smith, slightly shorter, and he's aware. He's immediately knows that he's hit it straight up, and it's a comfortable catch for Smith. And they're all out now for 245.
Happy Ashwell Prince, he pulls one over his big mate Robbie P. Hobbles along. Thando Ntini 4 on debut, he'd be a happy man. Dylan Matthews, he was the last man out. Caught Smith bowled Patterson for 12. And as Victor Pitsang mentioned, the Warriors all out for 245. In the end, the Cobras, they win by 31 runs. Applause all round, the good crowd in today. All round a really good day out at the recreation ground in Oudtshoorn. The authorities can hold their head high for the show they put on here today. They're in the midst of a really bad drought and had some overnight rain, which wasn't ideal in terms of cricket, but another fantastic show put on by the Southwestern District's team. Handshakes all round. Cobras a full value for their victory. In pursuit of 275, starts up the top of the order for Breetzke, Cloete, Kashele. Rudi Second one always felt he was the key man in this run chase after the demise of that top three. Yasin Vali, he tried before a spinning delivery from Dane Pitt. Saw the back of him, and Marco Murray never really got into it today. He's a big hitter.